Winter is here, it is getting cold and rainy in Egypt, and these are the perfect conditions to make mahshi, stuffed cabbage rolls. In Egypt, we call it Mahshi Koromb. And not only the cabbage, we stuff all types of vegetables like zucchini, eggplant, pepper, and vine leaves and more. Subscribe to see all the Egyptian recipes. I remember my mom saying, it is getting cold, so I will make mahshi to make you feel warm, and it really does. Cabbage is so in season right now, and this is the time to make Mahshi Koromb. We have lots of steps. Let's start with the first step, which is preparing the cabbage. I have here a small cabbage. In Egypt, cabbage for mahshi is different than the cabbage we use to make coleslaw. The leaves are thinner and it's kinda bigger. You can use the cabbage you find in the supermarket to make coleslaw, that's fine. I start by separating the leaves. I cut around this hard part in the middle that holds all the leaves together. I'm very careful not to break the leaves. I see the leaf which is on top and I try to pull it and I shake it a little bit to be able to pull it without breaking it, as you see right here. And take your time in this step. Don't hurry up. And I have here a large pot with boiling water. I start to add the leaves one by one. I add small batches so I don't crowd the pot to keep the water boiling. And I'm very careful not to break the leaves. I don't press them down. I try just to use the water to make the leaves soft, and then I can press them down. This stage is so important so I can handle the leaves when I roll them later. After a couple of minutes, I take out the leaves and put them in a large bowl with tap water. This is very important to stop them from cooking and also to rinse them from any dirt. Here is another way to boil the cabbage. This is easier and this is what I use actually. I cut the middle part by using a knife and going around this part to remove it, to separate the leaves. Then I put it upside down in the water. I wait a couple of minutes and then I turn it carefully. Don't burn yourself here. And I start to pull the leaves out. If it doesn't come out easily, it is not ready yet. I try carefully. I don't break the leaves until I can remove one of them. As you see here, I try to pull it here. It's not coming out. It's okay. I leave it just a couple of minutes. The water will make it soft and then I will be able to pull it. I also put it in water, and after finishing all the leaves, I drain them very well and I go to the next step, which is the cutting step. I take one leaf here, as you see, and I fold it into two like this. Here is the leaf. After boiling it, it's very soft, I can handle it. And I'm using a cutting board. I remove this part this way. I don't waste this part because I will use it later. Then I roll it to be able to cut it. I cut it into even and medium pieces like this here. And then when I just open it, I cut these pieces into rectangles to be able to roll them. So here, as you see, I can roll it. That's fine. This actually size is good. You can shape it a little bit, but this is not important actually. As long as you can roll it and you can have a good roll at the end, so you're fine. You're good to go. Here is it for like a little shaping. And you can make it bigger or smaller as you like, but much importantly, even pieces in size. So at the end, you have even rolls. Here are the ingredients for the sauce, mainly tomato sauce and onion. This sauce is suitable for all types of mahshi in Egypt. In a flat tray, I add the ghee and the oil. When they are hot, I add the minced onion. I use the blender to mince the onion. When the onion is yellow and fragrant, I add, this is optional, I add a tablespoon of chili. I like to make it spicy. So as you like, if you like to use it or not. And then I add the tomato sauce. I'm using here frozen tomato sauce. I leave it over high heat until it reaches a boil. Then I turn down the heat and let it simmer for around 30 minutes. We know that the sauce is ready when we make a line like this and it stays. If it's watery, it's not ready yet. I add the spices, cumin, coriander, and salt. Cumin and coriander are basic spices in the Egyptian cuisine in general and especially for mahshi. And here is ready. I let it to cool off until I prepare the greens. I have here parsley, cilantro, and dill. I chop them finely. This actually what will give your mahshi a very good smell. That's why I like to add lots of green in the mahshi. When everything is ready, I prepare the stuffing. We call it khalta. I have Egyptian rice and the greens. I like to add more greens. It gives the stuffing a delicious taste and a very good smell. And then I add the sauce gradually till it's red. I add also more than the usual because I like it super red. And then I add the same spices here again to season the rice. And for the salt, I add 1 teaspoon of salt for each 1 cup of rice. And then I finish it with a drizzle of oil to prevent the rice from sticking. And now I'm ready to roll the cabbage. You can leave this in the fridge for the next day. And this is what I did. I prepared the khalta. And then next day, I rolled the rolls. This is easier to divide the steps. Remember this part that I removed before? I save it to put it in the bottom of the pot to prevent the first layer from burning. Now it's time to roll the cabbage. I take 1 piece and I put a small amount of the rice in the middle. I want to leave a space for the rice to double in size. When I roll the piece, I try to press the rice down by doing this move. This will prevent the rice from falling out from the roll and it will be firm like this. When I finish the first layer like this, I make sure to leave a space between the rolls so the stock can reach all pieces and all pieces will be done at the end. And here I stuffed the green pepper too because I had some left over from the khalta. Over high heat, I add boiling stock with a spoon of tomato sauce in it. And here is the tricky part. I don't want to add extra stock nor less stock. I add the stock till I can't see the last layer, but at the same time, the stock doesn't cover the rolls. As you see here, you can't see the last layer. You know, the stock barely touches this layer. And here I leave it over high heat for 15 minutes. I put a plate in the middle like this because this part actually doesn't boil well as the edges. So this helps. And after 15 minutes, I turn down the heat and I let it slow cook for 30 to 40 minutes according to the quantity. And here is after the time. I remove the plate and you leave it till the end. It's okay. And I serve it on 1 tray actually. This is the traditional way to have mahshi. We don't have plates, different plates. We just have 1 tray and all the family eat from this tray. Here, see, this is so Egyptian actually. This tray is in each Egyptian house. And I serve it with chicken. And it's up to you. Some people like to have meat beside it or duck even, but I prefer chicken. And voila, here is the Mahshi Koromb, cabbage rolls. See you. Subscribe for more Egyptian recipes. وبالهنا والشفا.